It's a very interesting question. The key illiberal regimes or governments that we're thinking about in Eastern Europe or East Central Europe is primarily Hungary and Poland under peace, which recently lost its election. Those are the two largest countries that loom in sort of the imaginary of illiberal actors in North America and elsewhere. In terms of policies, by far the most sort of specific policies that come out of these two countries as potential examples for mimicry or learning is family policy, right? In terms of promoting more children, promoting family formation, things of that nature. So that's sort of the very obvious one. There's a variety of illiberal actors, post-liberal actors in the United States and elsewhere, in Great Britain as well, who are looking at Hungary and they're looking at Poland specifically on these terms, and they're looking at the level of legislation, at the level of the details of the policy, and it's broadly also part of a general illiberal interest in the active use of what they call state power, or what they often say is state power, what we could just say is using government as opposed to a laissez-faire approach, for example, in which what amounts to a welfare policy is actually viewed positively, especially by constituents in the Anglo-American world who would otherwise be more Reaganite or more Thatcherite, right, in their natural instincts, which would be, again, away from the active use of the state to encourage things that you value, again, family formation, child raising, child rearing, childbirth. Other policies that sort of come out of this are, of course, interest in moral cultural legislation, although that's a little bit more diffuse and diverse. It's more looking at how things could be, for example. One point of interest is in educational policy, actually. Hungary, for example, is very famously quite aggressive in terms of ensuring that educational and higher educational institutions broadly conform to the government's sort of general intended ideology. Not entirely so, but the famous example of Central European University being kicked out is one. And we see that actually in the United States in a softer way, for sure. In Florida, for example, in which the Governor DeSantis, who's in many ways sort of the first post-liberal governor in the United States, under the advice of a very major, important illiberal and conservative activist, Christopher Rufo, has really pushed for changing educational policies, bringing out DEI organizations, refounding one state college, new college. It's not the same playbook per se. That's kind of an odd way to term it, and I think it's too flippant. But it gets to the point of actually actualizing on what you want, identifying that, and then moving forward and using state authority to do so.